Hello everyone, in this video lesson I am going to present the solution of model question 1 from Compulsory English grade 11. Let's begin. Candidates are required to give their answer in their own words as far as practicable. The figure in the margin indicate full marks. आफ्नै शब्दमा लेखेको आन्सरहरूलाई चाहिँ मार्किङमा चाहिँ विशेष प्रायोरिटी दिन्छ. यसको फुल मार्क्स 75 हो. 3 आवर्सकै टाइम हुन्छ र यसमा पास मार्क्स 30 अराउन्ड 30 को हिसाबले हेरिन्छ. यो पास मार्क्स आफ्नो आफ्नो कलेज अनुसार पनि यो डिफरेन्स आउन सक्छ. यो न्यू कोर्सको मोडल क्वेसन चाहिँ हाम्रो 75 मार्क्सको छ, जसमा फर्स्ट क्वेसनमा चाहिँ प्यासेज हुन्छ जो 15 मार्क्सको हुन्छ. यसमा चुज द बेस्ट आन्सर, कम्प्लिट द फलोइङ सेन्टेन्सेस र क्वेसन आन्सर्सहरू गरेर 3 वटा क्याटेगोरी हुन्छ. यसमा यो क्वेसन आन्सर बाहेक अरू प्याटर्नहरूमा चाहिँ भेरिएसन्स देख्न सकिन्छ. क्वेसन नम्बर 2 र 3 मा चाहिँ हाम्रो लिटरेचर पार्टबाट हुन्छ, जसमा 2 मार्क्सको 5 वटा सर्ट क्वेसन र 5 मार्क्सको 2 वटा लङ क्वेसन गरेर सोधिन्छ. यसमा 20 मार्क्सको क्वेसन आन्सर चाहिँ हाम्रो लिटरेचर पार्टबाट सोधिन्छ. त्यसपछि हाम्रो क्वेसन नम्बर 4, 5 र 6 मा चाहिँ हाम्रो फ्री राइटिङ हो, जो चाहिँ 7, 8 र 10 मार्क्सको हुन्छ, 25 मार्क्सको. त्यसपछि हाम्रो क्वेसन नम्बर 7 र 8 मा चाहिँ हाम्रो ग्रामर हुन्छ. यसमा 10 मार्क्सको र 5 मार्क्सको गरेर 2 वटा क्याटेगोरीमा सोधिन्छ. ग्रामर हाम्रो 15 मार्क्सको, एउटा प्यासेज 15 मार्क्सको र हाम्रो लिटरेचरबाट 20 मार्क्स र फ्री राइटिङबाट 25 मार्क्स गरेर टोटल 75 मार्क्सको हुन्छ.
1. Read the text and do the tasks. 15. Mount Everest grows by nearly a meter to new height. The world's highest mountain, Mount Everest, is 0.86 meters higher than had been previously officially calculated. Nepal and China have jointly announced. Until now, the countries differed over whether to add the snow cap on top. The new height is 8,848.86 meters, 29,032 feet. China's previous official measurement of 8,844.43 meters had put the mountain nearly 4 meters lower than Nepal's. Everest officials at Nepal's Foreign Ministry and Department of Survey said surveyors from both countries had coordinated to agree on the new height. The agreement to jointly announce the new measurement of the Earth's highest point was made during Chinese President Xi Jinping's visit to the Nepalese capital, Kathmandu, last year. Chinese authorities had said previously Mount Everest should be measured to its rock height, while Nepalese authorities argued the snow on the top of the summit should be included. The Chinese surveyors had calculated their figure after they measured the mountain in 2005. Nepal's government officials told the BBC in 2012 that they were under pressure from China to accept the Chinese height, and therefore they had decided to go for a fresh measurement to set the record straight once and for all. The 8,848 meters height Nepal had been using for Mount Everest was determined by the Survey of India in 1954, but for the first time the country has now conducted its own measurement of the summit. 4 Nepalese land surveyors spent 2 years training for the mission before heading to the summit. Before this, we had never done the measurement ourselves, Damodar Dhakal, spokesman at Nepal's Department of Survey, told the BBC. Now that we have a young, technical team who could also go to the Everest summit, we could do it on our own, Mr. Dhakal said. Nepal's lead surveyor Kimlul Gautam lost his toe due to frostbite while on the summit to install height measuring equipment last year. For summiteers, scaling the highest peak means a great accomplishment. For us, it was just the beginning, Mr. Gautam had told BBC Nepali after his return. Unlike other surveys of the Everest in the past, we chose 3 o'clock to minimize errors that could have been caused because of sunlight in the daytime. Some geologists have suggested a major earthquake in 2015 may have had an impact on Mount Everest's height. The 7.8 magnitude earthquake killed nearly 9,000 people in Nepal and caused an avalanche which buried parts of the base camp at the mountain. At least 1820 climbers were killed. Some geologists said the earthquake may have caused Everest's snow cap to shrink. Scientists had found that some other Himalayan peaks such as Langtang Himal, mostly to the north of Kathmandu and close to the epicenter, had reduced in height by approximately a meter after the earthquake. Others have argued that Mount Everest, like other Himalayan peaks, may have actually grown over time because of the shifting tectonic plates it sits on. But experts say major earthquakes can result in that process being reversed. The 2015 earthquake is also a major reason why we remeasured the mountain, said Mr. Dockel. A. Choose the best answer. 5x1 equals 5. A. The word announce in the seventh line means I utter words to convey information. E. Make a formal statement about a fact. E. Communicate information to someone. B. The word fresh in the phrase fresh measurement in the second paragraph means I having its original qualities unimpaired. E. Not frozen, tinned or otherwise preserved. E. Not previously done, new or different. C. The word accomplishment in the 22nd line means I the omission of expected action. E. An act or instance of falling. E. Something that has been achieved successfully. D. The word shrink in the 29th line is opposite in meaning to I expand. E. Contract. E. Reduce. E. The word approximately in line 30 line means I exactly. E. Nearly. E. Precisely. B. Complete the following sentences in not more than 4 words. A. Nepal and China previously had different views about adding the snow to the height of Mount Everest. B. Surveyors from both Nepal and China had worked together to come up with the same view on the new height of Mount Everest. C. China's earlier official measurement of 8,844.43 meters was based on the measurement done in 2005. D. The team leader of Nepal's surveyors lost his toe during the installment of height measuring equipment on the top. E. Some geologists also had their view that the change in plates under Mt. Everest may have increased its height. C. Answer the following questions. A. What did the surveyors from both Nepal and China agree on to come up with about Mount Everest? The surveyors from both Nepal and China agree on to come up with a new height about Mount Everest. B. Why did both countries determine to carry out the new measurement of Mount Everest? Both countries determined to carry out the new measurement of Mount Everest because there is a contradiction about the height. C. Which sentence in the text indicates that it was the first time for Nepal to measure the height of Mount Everest? The sentence "but for the first time the country has now conducted its own measurement of the summit" indicates that it was the first time for Nepal to measure the height of Mount Everest. D. Why did the Nepali team take 3 o'clock as a reference in measuring the summit? The Nepali team take 3 o'clock as a reference in measuring the summit to minimize errors that could have been caused because of sunlight in the daytime. E. What covered the parts of the base camp at the mountains during 2015 earthquake? Avalanche covered the parts of base camp at the mountains during 2015 earthquake.
Question number 1 मा यो प्यासेज छ यो माउन्ट एभरेस्ट ग्रोज बाई नियरली अ मिटर टु न्यू हाइट भन्ने टाइटलमा छ। यसमा चीन र नेपाल मिलेर संयुक्त रूपमा फेरि सगरमाथाको मापन गरिएको भन्ने विषयमा यो एउटा प्यासेज छ। यो प्यासेजमा चाहिँ 3 वटा क्वेसन छन् एबिसी गरेर। यसमा चुज द बेस्ट आन्सर छ। क्वेसन नम्बर बी मा चाहिँ कम्प्लिट द फलोइङ सेन्टेन्सेस इन नट मोर देन 4 वर्ड्स भन्ने छ। खाली ठाउँ भर्नेमा चाहिँ हामीले 4 वटा वर्ड भन्दा बढी वर्ड चाहिँ भर्न मिल्दैन भनेर यो डाइरेक्सन दिएको क्वेसन छ। त्यसपछि क्वेसन नम्बर सी मा हाम्रो सर्ट क्वेसन आन्सर छ। यो सर्ट क्वेसन आन्सरमा चाहिँ जति सक्यो एक्ज्याक्ट आन्सर लेख्दा चाहिँ बढी राम्रो मानिन्छ।
2. Write short answers to the following questions. A. Why is the speaker saying that the children are the most beautiful flowers of all? The selfish giant, the speaker is saying that the children are the most beautiful flowers of all, because in the presence of children only the garden of the giant, the speaker, looks beautiful and attractive. In the story, The Selfish Giant, where the giant is presented very aggressive and he didn't allow the children to play in his garden. As a result, his garden remained cold and only snow and frost were pleased. B. What were the circumstances that led to Aksionov's imprisonment? God sees the truth. Aksiono was imprisoned because he was accused of murdering his fellow merchant whom he spent the night with in an inn. He was arrested 25 miles away by the police officers as he set off early in the morning from the inn. At that time he was taking rest and playing guitar. Then police officers searched his things and found a knife with blood stains. The knife was the strong evidence against Aksiono, and from there he was arrested and imprisoned. He was not trusted even by his wife, although he was an innocent man.
त्यसपछि हाम्रो क्वेसन नम्बर 2 मा छ राइट सर्ट आन्सर्स टु द फलोइङ क्वेसन्स भन्ने यो 2 मार्क्सको लागि 5 वटा क्वेसन हाम्रो लिटरेचर बुकबाट फर्स्ट क्वेसनमा छ वाइ इज द स्पिकर सेइङ दैट द चिल्ड्रेन आर द मोस्ट ब्युटिफुल फ्लावर्स अल द सेल्फिस जाइन्टबाट सोधेको बच्चाहरू सबैभन्दा सुन्दर फुलहरू हुन् भन्ने कुराहरू यो स्पिकरले किन भनेको भनेर सोधिएको छ यो क्वेसनको आन्सरमा चाहिँ जायन्टले जब बच्चाहरूलाई रोकिसकेपछि हैन उसको बगैँचामा हरियाली आउँदैन, बसन्त आउँदैन, तर जब बच्चाहरूको प्रवेश हुन्छ त्यसपछि फेरि त्यो बगैँचा हरियाली हुन्छ हैन, रङ्गीचङ्गी फुलहरू फुल्छन्। त्यसकारणले चाहिँ यो जायन्टले चाहिँ बच्चाहरू नै संसारका सबैभन्दा सुन्दर फुलहरू हुन् भनेर भनेको हुन्छ। सेकेन्ड क्वेसन छ वाट वेयर द सर्कमस्टान्सेस द्याट लिड टु आस्कियानोज इम्प्रिजनमेन्ट भन्ने छ। यो गड सिज द ट्रुथ भन्ने लियो टोल्स्टोयले लेखेको स्टोरी हो। यसमा चाहिँ यो आस्कियानो चाहिँ जेल पर्ने कस्तो अवस्था सिर्जना भएको थियो भनेर सोधेको छ। अब यो आस्कियानो चाहिँ निर्दोष हुँदै पनि ऊ चाहिँ उसको गाडीमा चाहिँ त्यो चक्कु खुनको दब्बा लागेको चक्कु भेटाएपछि उसलाई चाहिँ पक्रिन्छ, त्यसपछि चाहिँ जेल हालिन्छ। तर ऊ त्यो चक्कुको बारेमा पनि अनभिज्ञ हुन्छ र आफ्नो साथीको हैन हत्यामा पनि ऊ संलग्न हुँदैन, तर पनि त्यो पुलिसहरूलाई चाहिँ नै ऊ दोषी हो जस्तो लागेर उसलाई चाहिँ जेल हालिन्छ, जबकि ऊ निर्दोष हुन्छ।
C. What is the speaker's attitude toward war? The gift in wartime. The speaker's attitude toward war is bitter and a ruinous event. In the war, she lost her caring and loving husband. After then her life became like nightmare. She doesn't have anyone to share her problems. As a result, she wishes to meet him in their next life. D. What do you think is the main idea of the essay? What is poverty? Is the main idea of the essay explicit or implicit? The main idea of the essay is about poverty, and the writer explicitly presented it, where she explains poverty is an acid which drips on pride until all pride is worn away. It means looking into black future, survive all the time for asking help. There is always scarcity and you cannot handle it, only you will see it passive and calmly. E. Why are Don Gonzalo and Laura annoyed with each other? A sunny morning, Don Gonzalo and Laura annoyed with each other at the moment of meeting each other. Laura is annoyed with Gonzalo due to his mannerless behavior. He scares the birds which were fed by Laura. Gonzalo is annoyed due to her interruption in his disappointment. They are interrupting to each other because it's natural in the old age.
Question number C. What is the speaker's attitude towards war भन्ने द गिफ्ट इन वार टाइम भन्ने यो कविताबाट सोधेको क्वेसन हो। अब यो स्पिकर्स एटिट्युड टुवार्ड्स वारको रूपमा कुरा गर्नु पर्दाखेरि चाहिँ एकदमै तितो अनुभव हुन्छ हैन। यिनको अनुभव चाहिँ एकदमै जीवन तहस नहस हुन्छ। श्रीमानको मृत्युपछि चाहिँ अब यिनी एक्लो हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ जीवन बिताउन पनि कठिन हैन हुने कुराहरू छ यसमा। Question number D. What do you think is the main idea of the story? What is poverty? Is the main idea of the essay explicit or implicit भनेर सोधिएको छ। अब यो what is poverty भन्ने निबन्ध एस्से हो। यो एस्सेमा गरिबीको बारेमा नै विशेष गरेर फोकस गरेर लेखिएको छ। विशेष गरेर यो एसे राइटर निबन्धकारको आफ्नै व्यक्तिगत अनुभवलाई चाहिँ यसमा उजागर गरिएको छ। यो एकदमै एक्सप्लिसिटली होइन देखिने गरेरै उल्लेख गरिएको छ यो निबन्धमा। लास्ट क्वेसन छ क्वेसन नम्बर ई, वाइ आर डन गोन्जालोज एन्ड लाउरा अनवेड विथ इच अदर भनेर यो अ सनी मर्निङ भन्ने प्लेबाट वान एक्ट प्लेबाट सोधिएको क्वेसन हो। यसमा डोन गोन्जालो र लाउरा यी दुईजना भूतपूर्व प्रेमी प्रेमिका हुन्छन्। दुर्भाग्यवश यिनीहरूको मिलन हुन सक्दैन, तर एकदमै बुढेसकालमा होइन पार्कमा भेटिँदाखेरि चाहिँ एकअर्काको व्यवहारबाटै होइन वाक्कदिक्क हुने टाइपका व्यवहारहरू यिनीहरूले देखाउँछन्। अब हुन त यो बुढेसकालमा अरूको कुरामा टाङ अडाउने, हरेक कुरामा सल्लाह सुझाव दिइहाल्नु पर्ने स्वभावको हुने भएर पनि यिनीहरू एकअर्कादेखिबाट चाहिँ एकदमै होइन एनोयड हुने अवस्था सिर्जना हुन्छ।
3. Write long answers to the following questions. A. Jobs contend that you need to love what you do in order to be great at it. Do you agree or disagree? Why? How to live before you die. Steve Jobs is one of the greatest figures ever born in this world. He had to face a lot of ups and downs throughout his life. He could not complete his graduation and was kicked out from his own company due to serious arguments and disputes. So, every single word of his is a great inspiration for the people belonging to the young generation. He never gave up, which resulted in the success of Apple Company. So, in order to inspire the youths, he gave a motivational speech at Stanford University in 2006 AD. Steve Jobs highlighted the ways to live in this world and get maximum satisfaction in life. He explained his story of life and provided a strong advice to the people to love what they do. Life is a game full of die-hard levels. Every action that we perform is not necessarily performed by us according to our willingness. We may feel monotonous and boredom from our life when we do not enjoy what we do. The best way of achieving maximum success and satisfaction from a particular work is to love and enjoy the work. Love is such an affection that attracts you and makes you do every single thing in an organized way. We can make a reasonable benefits from the action performed with rejoice and happiness. Steve Jobs also did every single work in his life with full enjoyment and happiness. So, I personally agree with the statement of Jobs and suggest all the people to enjoy the time in their work to be successful in life.
Question number 3 मा 5 मार्क्सका लागि दुईवटा क्वेसन लिटरेचरबाट सोधिन्छ, जसमा राइट लङ आन्सर्स टु द फलोइङ क्वेसन्स भन्ने हुन्छ। अब 2 मार्क्सको लागि चाहिँ 1 प्याराग्राफ सफिसियन्ट हुन्छ भनेपछि यो 5 मार्क्सको लङ क्वेसन हो। यसमा मोर देन 2 प्याराग्राफ्स हुनुपर्छ भन्ने हुन्छ सामान्यतया। फर्स्ट क्वेसन छ, जब्स कन्टेन्ट्स द्याट यु निड टु लभ वाट यु डु इन अर्डर टु बी ग्रेट एट इट. डु यु एग्री अर डिसएग्री? वाइ? हाउ टु लिभ बिफोर यु डाई. यो जब्स, स्टिभ जब्स भन्ने एकजना फेमस इन्टरप्रेन्यर्स, व्यापारी भनौँ होइन, यिनको यो भाषणमा आधारित छ यो एस्से चाहिँ। अब यसमा चाहिँ आफ्नो काममा चाहिँ एकदमै मन पर्यो होइन, आफ्नो कामप्रति एकदमै माया लाग्छ, रमाइलो लाग्छ भनेपछि मात्रै मान्छे सफल हुन सक्छ होइन। बाध्यताले गर्नुपर्ने कामहरूमा चाहिँ मान्छे सक्सेसफुल हुँदैन होइन। यसमा तिमी सहमत छौ या छैनौ भन्ने क्वेसनमा छ। पक्का पनि हामी आफूलाई मनपर्ने काम भयो होइन, चाहे त्यसमा धेरै पैसा होस् या नहोस्, सक्सेसफुल हुन सकिन्छ भन्ने तरिकाको छ यो क्वेसनको आन्सर।
B. Write the summary of the poem All the World's a Stage. All the World's a Stage is one of the finest poetry of William Shakespeare, who was born on the 26th of April 1564 AD in England. He was one of the greatest literary person during the Elizabethan era. He is often considered to be the greatest playwright of all time. He has written 37 plays, 154 sonnets and 2 long narrative poems. Along with the contribution in the field of plays, he has also contributed in the field of poetry. He has written many amazing poems and sonnets. Hence, he is often considered to be the national poet of England. Among his poems, All the World's a Stage is one of the great poems that describes the cycle of human life. The poem has tried its best to highlight the basic phases that occurs in the life of each and every individual. The poet explains that when a human being is born, he is an infant and does not have any idea regarding the physical world. The human grows up and becomes a schoolboy and does not want to go to the school. Lots of spirit and affection develop in the mind of human beings as they grow up. Human beings enter into the phase where they search for their love. Similarly, another phase appears in the life of human beings where human beings are very strong and can do everything in their life, which according to poet is the phase of soldiers. People grow old and try to turn themselves into a justice. People try to give advices and suggestions to the young people regarding life. People slowly and gradually turn old where people are unable to do their basic activities on their own. By the time people get very old, they are not able to work and do other things. This is the way how human life circle works. Everybody has to go through these 7 phases in their life, so we keep on saying life is all about ups and downs.
Question number B. Write the summary of the poem All the World is a Stage. यो हाम्रो पोइम हो, विलियम शेक्सपियरले लेखेको अल द वर्ल्ड इज अ स्टेज भन्ने। अब यो कविताको समरीमा विशेष गरेर मान्छेको 7 वटा स्टेज होइन, जन्मदेखि मृत्युसम्मको कुराहरू यसमा उठाइएको छ। त्यस कारणले मान्छेको जिन्दगी भनेको नै एउटा स्टेज हो होइन, नाटकको स्टेज हो, जहाँ हामीले चाहिँ आफ्नो भूमिका चाहिँ निर्वाह मात्रै गर्छौँ भन्ने खालको यो कविता छ।
The following bar graph shows the total cases of COVID-19 infection in Nepal from the 1st of January 2020 to the 20th of January 2021. Write an interpretation of it in about 150 words. The following bar graph shows the total cases of COVID-19 infection in Nepal from the 1st of January 2020 to the 20th of January 2021. The graph shows that the total male and female COVID-19 infected data within a year on the basis of age group. The blue color represents the male and orange color represents the female in this graph. The most vulnerable age group is 21 to 30, who are infected more than 70,000 because the people in this age group are mostly students and job holders. They could not stay separately because they have to go to colleges and offices. The second most vulnerable age group is 31 to 40. The people in this group as well working people who have to go to offices and purchase necessary items from the market. As a result, 70,000 people infected. More than 40,000 people infected from COVID-19 in the 41 to 50 years age group, and the numbers of male is higher than female. Around 30,000 people infected from COVID-19 in the 51 to 60 years age group, and the numbers of male is higher than female. This age group people also have to go for work and could not escape themselves from the virus. Nearly 20,000 people infected from COVID-19 in the 11 to 20 years age group, and the numbers of male is higher than female too. More than 10,000 people infected from COVID-19 in the 61 to 70 years age group, and the numbers of male is higher than female as well. And below 10,000 people infected from COVID-19 in the 0 to 10, 71 to 80 and over 80 years age group, the numbers of male and female is nearly equal. These age groups people can stay at home and remain safe from the virus. That's why their infected number is low than other age groups.
क्वेसन नम्बर 4 मा चाहिँ हामीलाई एउटा बार ग्राफ दिएको छ। यो बार ग्राफ चाहिँ कोभिड-19 इन्फेक्सनसँग रिलेटेड छ। अब यो बार डायग्रामलाई हेरेर हामीले चाहिँ यो बार ग्राफलाई चाहिँ हामीले एक्सप्लेन गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ। अब यसमा विशेष गरेर 2 वटा क्याटेगोरी हेर्न सक्छौँ हामीले। अब यसमा एज ग्रुप र नम्बर्स अफ केसेस भनेर छ। अब यो दुईवटा प्याटर्नमा हेरेर कुन उमेर समूहको होइन कति मान्छे इन्फेक्ट भए कोभिडबाट भन्ने कुराहरू छ। अब यसमा एक्सप्लेन गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ धेरैमा होइन, कम्पेरिटिभली हेर्ने, उमेरहरू पनि म्याच गर्ने। अब यो निलो रङ चाहिँ हाम्रो मेलको हो र यो ओरेन्ज कलर ब्राउन कलर टाइपको यो जो छ माथि, अब यो चाहिँ फिमेलहरूको हो। अब यसमा फिमेल भन्दा पनि मेलहरूको इन्फेक्सनको एभरेज चाहिँ पर्सेन्टेज चाहिँ धेरै छ। अब यो कुराहरू हामीले एज ग्रुपसँग म्याच गरेर हामीले यो हेर्न सक्छौँ।
5. Suppose you are the coordinator of the organizing committee for the sports week at your school. Write an email inviting the other members of the committee for its first meeting. Kathmandu, the 11th of August 2021. The Sports Week members ABS School, Balaju. Subject meeting for the Sports Week. Dear members, hi there, Ashwin Adhikari here. I am extremely rejoiced to share you the information that our committee is going to organize a sports week in our school very soon. Sports and games are very essential for the physical and mental development of students. Considering that fact, we have decided to organize a sports week to uplift the spirit of our school and move one step further in the competition of modern world. Organizing a sports week is a really challenging task. There is the involvement of lots of people in the event. Good managerial skills are required to handle such an auspicious occasion. Sports Week is not organized just to show our managerial skills and sports skills of the students, but it is organized to move one step further in the competition of the modern world. As we are aware about the fact that children are not made bookworms in the present context, the overall developments of children are really necessary to be more competitive. Children of the modern world should be sharp and strong. We are also well known about the fact that sports and games cement the condition of physical and the mental development of the children. Sports include different physical activities that boost immunity of the children and make them really sharp and strong. Similarly, making different strategies and plans throughout the sports week help children to develop their mental strength as well. As we are aware about the fact that nothing can be done without proper planning, we need to come up with different ideas and skills to make the sports week successful. Different sports equipments are required along with referees and other staffs. Managing children during week is also another big problem. Hence, we need to arrange a proper meeting in order to make this event happen. So, I would like to invite you all to the meeting on coming Sunday, where we will be discussing about different plans and policies to make this event happen in a successful way. I also hope that all of you will cooperate with me and join the meeting on Sunday. Thank you for your kind cooperation. Coordinator Ashwin Adhikari.
Question number 5, यो 8 मार्क्सको लागि सोधिएको क्वेसन हो. Suppose you are the coordinator of the organizing committee for the sports week at your school. Write an email inviting the other members of the committee for its first meeting भनेर क्वेसन सोधिएको छ. अब यसमा लेख्ने मान्छे चाहिँ हैन, यो क्वेसनको आन्सर लेख्ने मान्छे चाहिँ कोअर्डिनेटर हो, जो स्पोर्ट्स विक सेलिब्रेट गर्न गइरहेको छन् त्यसको, र आफ्नो अरू कमिटीको साथीहरूलाई चाहिँ इन्भाइट गर्ने को लागि चाहिँ एउटा इमेल लेख्ने कुरा छ. अब यो इमेल र लेटरमा त्यति ठुलो डिफरेन्स त हुँदैन. अब इमेलमा चाहिँ हाम्रो लेफ्ट कर्नरमै लेखिन्छ, लेटरहरूमा चाहिँ हामीले राइट कर्नर पनि राख्न सक्छौँ. अब यो नयाँ मोडलमा चाहिँ हाम्रो सबै लेफ्ट कर्नरमै राख्न सकिन्छ, किनकि इमेलमा यो राइट कर्नरमा लैजान चाहिँ धेरै गाह्रो हुन्छ. त्यसकारणले चाहिँ सबै यो लेफ्ट कर्नरमै राखेर हामीले बनाउनु पर्ने हुन्छ. अब यसमा लेटरकै फर्मेटमा आफ्नो साथीहरूलाई चाहिँ अब यो कसरी गेम को म्यानेजमेन्ट गर्ने हैन, हरेक कुराहरुको प्रिपरेसन गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ, त्यो कुराहरु राखेर लेखिएको छ कोअर्डिनेटर अश्विन अधिकारी भनेर.
6. Is the use of smartphones useful for the students of secondary level? Write an essay discussing the advantages and disadvantages of smartphones in about 300 words. Smartphones, the revolutionary impact, comfort and luxury are the terms associated with human beings after the arrival of modern world. It's scary when we look back to the Stone Ages. We can't believe how people sustained their life because we have everything to support us to fulfill our basic necessities. The developments of machineries are very rapid due to the rise of capitalism. We are dependent on machines for almost every work we do in our daily life. Smartphones are undoubtedly and undeniably the perfect example of modernization. Smartphones were limited to calling and listening radio at the beginning, but the progressive natures of human beings have made the smartphone smarter than the human minds. The first smartphone was invented in around 2004 AD and it got really popular in 2006 after the involvement of operating systems like iOS and Android. Smartphones have evolved as one of the greatest gifts for the students. Smartphones have made the studies really easier and transparent. Practical learning and project-based learning have a special priority due to smartphones. We should be looking at the use of smartphones by the students of secondary level in a positive way. We have seen many instances where students have got benefited due to smartphones. A very dangerous pandemic named COVID-19 attacked all the human beings and all the professional works were affected. The process of education looked next to impossible. It was smartphone that provided all the hopes to the students. Looking on to the present context, we cannot find any loopholes in educational sector due to the efficient contribution of smartphones. Smartphones are really the part of revolution for the students. There are lots of advantages of smartphones as it supports the students to learn in a different way. Students are willing to get better and better by the use of different methods. Developed countries have already utilized smartphones in the education, but we are still abstracted in the question whether we should use smartphones in education or not. We feel that the students are not socialized due to the use of smartphones. But that may not necessarily be the case. Students are able to socialize even more by the use of smartphones than they socialized physically. Smartphones let you cooperate and coordinate with the people all around the globe. That develops the feeling of global fraternity and universal brotherhood. Ideas and knowledge of the people all around the world can be acquired using the smartphones. Use of smartphones is a new dimension for the students. Use of smartphones let the students search multiple answers for the same questions that increase the flexibility and creativity of the minds of the students. Smartphones have even made the students independent as the students can research and study by themselves. Open universities are the perfect examples of research-based learning. Use of smartphones can even let the students earn name and fame as it encourages students to write different articles and blogs and post them in the internet. Use of smartphones becomes essential because it comes in such advantageous features. Every aspect in the world has both positive and negative sides. Likewise, smartphones can also have negative impact on students if not utilized properly. Smartphones may decrease the intensity of the students towards the studies. Basically, the secondary level students are teenagers. So, smartphones may have a negative impact in their minds, and as internet is not a pure site, online games and unnecessary content may be destructive for the minds of the students if consumed beyond the limits. The use of smartphones may also limit the students in terms of physical and mental strength. We are aware about the fact that people are suffering from different mental diseases due to extreme use of smartphones. The smartphones can cause various problems like anxiety, depression, autism, etc. that can destroy the brain. Social networking sites have become the part of criminal activities. So, students of secondary level can get involved in criminal activities that may lead to destruction. Every aspect in the world is made in a way that consists both positive and negative sides. It completely depends on us how we use them. It is necessary for us to stay positive and use the smartphones for intellectual purposes. Proper monitoring should be done to the students to make sure that the students utilize the smartphones. Students should not be left free after they are provided with smartphones. Government should also take strict action against the impure sites in the internet so the students can keep themselves motivated in the studies. Use of smartphones is a really good aspect for students because many of the students who are differently able can enrich themselves in education. Smartphones are the revolution and they should be continued to encourage skilled human resources.
Question number 6 मा छ, is the use of smartphones useful for the students of secondary level? Write an essay discussing the advantages and disadvantages of smartphones in about 300 words भनेर 10 मार्क्सको क्वेसन हो यो। अब स्मार्टफोन्स द रिभोल्युसनरी इम्प्याक्ट भनेर यसमा टाइटल राखेको छ। एसेको सामान्यतया हेडिङ राख्दा राम्रो हुन्छ, हेडिङ टाइटल जे भन्दा पनि भयो। अब यसमा 300 वर्ड्स भनेको छ, अलि लामो छ यसमा। अब यसमा स्मार्टफोनहरूले विद्यार्थीहरू को जीवनमा हैन विशेष गरेर सेकेन्डरी लेभलमा 19, 11, 12 यो लेभलको स्टुडेन्ट्सहरू टिनेजर्सहरू हुन्छन् हैन, कसरी स्मार्टफोनलाई उपयोगी बनाउन सकिन्छ भन्ने कुराहरू छ। अब यसमा एडभान्टेज र डिसएडभान्टेजेसहरूको कुरा पनि छ।
7. Do as indicated in brackets and rewrite the sentences. A. The good boy behaved well. Underline the adverb in the sentence. The good boy behaved well. B. Many of the houses in this neighborhood doesn't have garages. Choose one form from the bracket to complete the sentence. Many of the houses in this neighborhood don't have garages. C. We insist punctuality in this office. Put the correct preposition in the blank. We insist on punctuality in this office. D. It be Anton's car. I saw him driving the car yesterday. Put the correct modal in the blank to complete the sentence. It must be Anton's car. I saw him driving the car yesterday. E. She wrote 3 books and she is working on another one. Put the verb from the bracket in correct tense to make a meaningful sentence. She has written 3 books and she is working on another one. F. I need to stop to do my homework late at night. I keep making terrible mistakes. Choose one form from the bracket to complete the sentence. I need to stop doing my homework late at night. I keep making terrible mistakes. G. The minister stood still at the request to take her seat. Put the correct conjunction in the blank to complete the sentence. The minister stood still in spite of the request to take her seat. H. Marie Curie is the woman. She discovered radium. Join the sentences with a relative pronoun. Marie Curie is the woman who discovered radium. She said, would you like me to help you? Use the reporting verb offer to change the sentence into indirect speech. She offered to help me. J. I hate people laughing at me. Change into passive. I hate being laughed at.
Question number 7. Do as indicated in brackets and rewrite the sentences भनेर 10 वटा क्वेशन 1 मार्क्सको हो। यसमा यो ग्रामर बेसिसमा छ। ग्रामरको क्वेशन भएको भएर हामीलाई कसरी डाइरेक्ट गरिएको हुन्छ हैन, ब्राकेटमा हुन्छ के भनेको छ क्वेशन बुझ्ने। त्यसपछि यो क्वेशन नम्बर A B C D E F G H I J गरेर 10 वटा क्वेशन यसमा सोधिएको छ।
8. Do as instructed. A. The art of producing beautiful writing with a special pen or brush is called calligraphy. What word class does the underlined word in the sentence belong to? The underlined word special in the sentence belong to adjective. B. Arrange the following words as per the order in a dictionary. Chanting, chopper, chirruping, chivalry, chancellor, chancellor. Chanting, chirruping, chivalry, chopper. Circa what does the sentence, he burned his fingers by interfering in his neighbor's affair, mean? I. He got himself into trouble. E. He burned himself. E. He got himself insulted. IV. He got rebuked. D. What does the prefix under in the word underestimate mean? I. Below. E. In. E. Around. IV. Above. E. Which of the following sentences is correct? I. Kelsey said I want to go to Aunt Joy's for Thanksgiving. E. Kelsey said I want to go to Aunt Joy's for Thanksgiving. E. Kelsey said I want to go to Aunt Joy's for Thanksgiving. IV. Kelsey said I want to go to Aunt Joy's for Thanksgiving. The end.
त्यसपछि क्वेसन नम्बर 8 पनि ग्रामर नै हो, डु एज इन्स्ट्रक्टेड भन्ने छ। इन्स्ट्रक्सन दिए अनुसारले हामीले यसमा क्वेसन आन्सरहरू गर्न सक्छौँ। अब यो यसमा हाम्रो पुरानो कोर्समा लिङ्क इङ्ग्लिस थियो होइन, अल्फाबेटिकल अर्डरमा अरेन्ज गर्नुपर्ने क्वेसनहरू पनि यसमा हुन्छ, सिमिलर अपोजिट मिनिङ होइन, त्यो त्यस्ता कुराहरू पनि हुन्छ। अब यो कुराहरू चाहिँ हामीले यो क्वेसन नम्बर 8 मा देख्न सक्छौँ। थ्याङ्क यू फर जोइनिङ विथ मी इन दिस भिडियो लेसन एन्ड सब्सक्राइब माई च्यानल टु गेट माई अपकमिङ भिडियो लेसन्स कन्टिन्युसली। किप सजेस्टिङ अस, सी यू सुन।